Zoe, thank you again for taking care of my kids today. Both Jake and May say that they love being with you so much and look forward to the next time they both will be over.
Good evening, Rihanna. I'm just glad to hear that both your kids didn't get too bored staying over here with me. I don't have a lot of games or anything for them to do, and my yard isn't big enough for them to really run around in.
That's fine, Zoe. And one other thing. Jake told me that you gave him a lot of vegetables for lunch. Maybe next time try and give him more meat or something. That boy doesn't like to eat vegetables, Zoe.
Wait, does he have an allergy to them or something?
No, he doesn't. He just does not like eating them. He told me that green things make him feel as though he's eating burgers and so won't be eating them anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought giving them a well-balanced lunch today would be good for them. And so I probably didn't end up giving him a lot of veggies.
Well, when it comes to May, she loves vegetables, so give her as much as you want. But Jake would like things besides green things. So next time, do vegetables for May, and meat or something for Jake. Maybe even just make them 2 separate meals in general to make it easy on yourself.
Oh, wait, are you asking me to make 2 separate meals for them the next time then? And that's easy, you think?
Yeah, is that a problem?
I'm sorry, but that would be a bit much for me. It can't take that much time to make lunch for them while I work. It already took away 2 hours of my day as it is, just getting them to calm down and eat everything.
But it's just food for a couple of kids, so you can get it done in no time. How bad are you at working in the kitchen, Zoe? I'll ask my brother next time and maybe he'll tell me what you've really been feeding to the kids.
Rihanna, I've told you before that I have work to do at home. And right now is the busiest time of the year, so I really can't be away from my computer and phone all day to be dealing with your kids' food.
I know that. You work from home, right? And that's the whole reason I've asked you to watch my kids. You're already there, so what's wrong with letting my kids run around?
But just because I'm home doesn't mean that I'm not working my job. I may be working from home, but I'm doing the exact same amount of work as anyone else that has to go to their job site. So, I have to say it again, I don't really have time to always watch your kids.
But today you were able to look after them, right?
And that's because you came over unannounced and left them here with me. I didn't have any other choice at that point, or else I'd be leaving your kids on the street. So please, refrain from doing that again. It's been 4 times now this month that you've done that. And also, can you stop coming over here without telling me first? I can understand when you're really busy and forget, but every time is not acceptable. We're both adults, and we have to communicate with one another like adults.
Well, I'm always busy with other things. And that's why tomorrow I'll be leaving them with you again. There, this time I've told you that they're coming to stay.
Are you listening to anything I'm saying? I can't do my job when both of your kids are here. Both your kids are still very young, so I can't just leave them to care for themselves. I've already had to tell my boss a few times now about this, and she's starting to get impatient with me when it comes to always being late on my assignments. They are both your children after all, so either find time yourself to care for them, or hire a babysitter.
Want me to rely on someone else? You know that my mom has passed away, right? So, who would I be able to ask to take care of my kids besides you?
And this is the kind of situation where you go out and find someone that can look after them. There are plenty of younger people around looking for babysitting jobs that would love to come over and be with them while you're out of the house.
But it's because I don't know anyone else that I give them to you. I don't feel safe leaving my babies with someone that I don't know. If you just thought about my point of view for a second, you'd understand. You must be selfish or something if you're not willing to give them some of your time to help the family.
But I have a full-time job to tend to. And I'm in a pretty important position that requires me to focus on what's going on and keep up with my workload.
What about quitting your job? Can't be even making that much if you're working from home, right? And my brother, your husband, is working an actual job right now. So, there's no real reason for you to be working as well. How about you become my kid's babysitter for good? I wouldn't have to pay you anything, but I'll give you an IOU for the future.
I cannot just get up and leave my job. This company is counting on me to do my work, and if I'm not able to, they might ask me to start commuting back to the office, which is 2.5 hours away. Can you please stop trying with me already? I've given you my answer to this, so there's no need to keep trying.
Come on, I was just half joking right there. Don't get so worked up over this. You really are too serious to really have fun with, Zoe. You can't even take a joke, huh?
I'm sorry, but this has been driving me up the wall a bit.
If only you had a bit of humor in you, then I might be willing to act more kind to you. Like me, for an example. Everyone knows that I'm always joking around, and that's why they always listen to me.
All right.
You should be taking it easy around me too. Well, anyway, I'd like you to watch my kids tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What? Hold on a minute, Rihanna. I told you that tomorrow isn't happening. I've already told you why. Can you please understand that I have work to do here and it doesn't involve caring for your kids? Rihanna? Where are you right now, Rihanna? I have a deadline that ends today and I really can't be handling your kids right now. Come and take them back with you. Today is seriously not the day for me to have me watch them. My manager is expecting the project handed in within the next few hours, and I only have half of it done for her.
Well then, maybe you should have worked on it when you had free time. And besides, I have plans myself.
What kind of plans could those be that require you once again to leave your kids here all day?
I have to go to the hospital. My head has been hurting a little bit, so I needed to go in or else I felt I was going to pass out. And those kids were not helping me any with getting over it.
That's probably just because you're hungover right now, Rihanna. When you were just here a bit ago, dropping the kids off, you smelled like pure liquor. I didn't think I'd ever smell that much alcohol on you, but it almost made me throw up.
What are you talking about? Are you saying that their mother likes to drink in the middle of the day? How dare you!
That's not what I'm saying. Just that you're probably hungover and need to take better care of yourself. This is coming from my husband, but he wants you to stop leaving your kids with me every day as well. I spoke to him about this and he says that at most you should only be leaving them with us once a month.
Why should I stop though? You're my family after all, so it should be fine, right?
I might be your family, but when I say I can't do it, that means I cannot do it. If you happen to come here again tomorrow with your kids, I will not open the door for you. I haven't been able to do my job recently, so I'll be going out somewhere now to get the work done. So please understand my situation and let this be the last day for a while.
And that's totally fine with me. But if you aren't willing to leave the house open for me, then my kids will have to wait outside your house all day. That would be pretty careless of you, right? They could get hit by a car or something if they wander too far.
Are you being serious about that?
Yes, I am very serious right now. What's wrong with that though, Zoe? You just told me that you're fine locking them out of the house.
Both of your kids are really young and you plan to just leave them outside my house? Don't be doing something so dangerous with them.
Well, if you're so worried about them, then stay home and do your job with them around. You're too nice to be ignoring both my babies.
Why are you doing this to me?
It doesn't cost anything, right? If I had to leave them at the daycare or have a babysitter for them, it cost me quite a bit of money. And my family doesn't have that kind of money just laying around.
But still, you can't just keep ignoring me by leaving your kids here every day.
Shut up, Zoe. Jeez. You're my little brother's wife, right?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, that means, by relation, you're also my wife.
Huh?
Normally, I leave what happens to you up to my mom in deciding what to do here. But she's long gone, and it's my job to tell you what to do.
Why are you thinking all of this that way?
Because that's just how things go now in this family. And since my husband is the oldest in the family, and I'm his wife, do you really think it's a good idea to go against our word?
This isn't about me going against what you ask or not.
Anyway, I have things to deal with right now, so you have to help me by caring for the kids. Or better yet, would you be willing to pay me to have a babysitter?
If you want a sitter, then maybe you should ask your husband to pay for them. And why are you always handing your kids off to me like this in the first place? What's your reason for it? I've heard you say over and over that you have to go to the hospital or that you have to run errands, but there's no way you have those things going on every single day. Is there something else that's taking your time away that we need to know about?
Alright, listen. As a mother, I'd like to have a break every once in a while. I've had to care for those kids every day, and it's a 24-hour job watching for the both of them. And that'll go on for years, right? Do you not feel any sympathy for me having to go all through this?
I haven't had kids of my own yet, so I'm not sure how you feel. But I do think that having to raise kids is a hard job for anybody, no matter who they are. But I think that in your case, you should be talking to your husband about how to handle your kids instead of me.
Well, my husband doesn't do anything for me, so that's the reason I rely on you.
Well, if that's the problem, how about we ask him to join us and discuss all of this? My husband and I will sit in as well and help the conversation along.
Huh? No way! I've never have to talk with my husband about the kids, and I have no plans to.
Well, if you guys are not able to have a simple discussion about this, then maybe you need to get yourself someone to help.
No, thank you. My husband is working his butt off right now, making money for the family.
But this has been really stressful for you, right?
But that's why I want you to take care for my kids now. That's it. Once I've had some time to relax, I'll get right back to caring for those two.
But if you do that, you're going to be causing issues with my life. I understand that you're in a bit of a predicament right now. So if you only bring them over once a week, I'll take care of them. But that only means once per week. Any more than that, and I'm going to bring this up with your husband.
But I told you already that there's nobody else I can rely on. Why are you not listening to me? I've been trying to be nice to you about handling my kids, but you keep pushing back as though I'm the problem, Zoe.
But this is hurting me. How about you have your husband's mom come and take care of the kids for a while?
Huh? You're asking me to have my mother-in-law care for them?
Yes. A little while back, while I was out finishing some errands, I came across the flower shop she works at. And she was telling me that she really wants to see her grandchildren.
Huh? Why did you go and talk to her without me?
No, I was just there to get some flowers is all when I ran into her.
You didn't tell her anything about me having you take care of my kids, right?
I did not.
Well, if that's the truth, then I'm safe. Just make sure that if you see her again, you don't bring it up. If you do, then she'll start getting on about me about not seeing her grandkids.
Or, why don't we ask her if she'd be willing to watch your kids while you relax? She already has way more experience than me with taking care of children. So they'd be far better off with her, right?
Hey? If I was able to have her take care of my kids, wouldn't I be doing that already? You're an idiot, Zoe. Can you use your head when talking to me? Hey, Zoe, I bet you were the kind of girl that got picked on a lot when you were in high school, right?
Huh?
I'm asking if you're the kind of girl that's too weak to defend herself, so you were easy pickings for others in school, right? Well, the first time I met you, I could already tell that. Always thinking back that in school you must have been the one everyone made fun of. You probably had a lot of bullies, right?
What are you talking about right now?
I'm asking you to shut up and take care of my kids. I can see that you don't want to, but I don't care. And you sitting there trying to make excuses for me to not give you my kids is annoying as hell.
But is there any reason for you to be talking to me about my past now?
Oh, did I make you start remembering horrible memories of your school life? I knew that you were easy to pick on back then.
I don't care what you think of me, Rihanna. Go ahead and imagine anything you'd like even. But what you think about my past and me taking care of your kids have nothing to do with one another.
Oh, are you starting to get upset with me now because I started prying? But what I've said about you is the truth. Now, what happens if I were to leave my kids outside your house and you weren't there to let them in? They'd probably tell me and my husband about it later, and that might cause some drama in the family, right? Are you willing to destroy our whole family just because you don't like to help me out?
I'm done here. I get what you're trying for here, and so I'm doing what I have to do.
Perfect. You seem to have finally come around to me again. Doing as I say has always been the way to handle things. Ah, and just as a little heads up, if you let my little brother know about this, I'm not sure what I might do to you.
Is that a threat?
It's not a threat. I'm just telling you that I'll really do something bad to you is all. And so to avoid that, you better continue to watch my kids when I say to. If you can continue to help me when I tell you to, then maybe one day I'll be willing to help you when you're in need. For example, if you need an alibi for having an affair.
I would never ask such a thing of you.
Well, that may be so. After all, I don't see why I'd ever want to help you. And I'm sure that you'd never cheat on my brother either. It was such a huge accomplishment finding a man to marry you in the first place, right? Just make sure you don't fool around any, or else you might not get the help you're looking for. Hey Zoe, where are you right now?
Where I am has nothing to do with you.
Huh? What the hell are you trying to hide from me? I had just started to think you'd finally gotten used to taking care of my kids for me. So what's up with you acting this way towards me now?
But Rihanna, you never tell me where you run off to when you leave your kids with me, right?
I'm not allowed to do that. And actually, I just saw you a second ago. Were you near the subway station? What happened to watching my kids? Don't tell me that you left my kids home and are going out by yourself.
Oh, don't worry about a thing. I left them with the babysitting pro.
Babysitting pro? What are you talking about? Did you actually hire a babysitter for them?
Actually, I have them with their grandma right now.
My mother-in-law is looking after them?
Yep. I had some errands to run today, and so I called your mother-in-law and let her take care of them for me.
You're kidding, right?
Not one bit.
But I haven't heard anything from her about this.
Yeah, that would be right.
Hey, you tell me what all is going on right now.
How about you wait for a little bit? I have some things I want to check on first.
Check on what? Hey! Why are you leaving my two babies with my mother-in-law? Don't tell me that the whole reason you've been so accepting of watching them is because you've had my mother-in-law to help you. Say something to me. Are you trying to make me cry right now?
Oh, I was just able to confirm it.
What have you been trying to confirm, though?
I was just making sure it's okay for me to tell the truth.
Huh? Are you fucking with me right now?
I'm going to say this very concisely. I had asked your mother-in-law, Patty, to watch over the kids for me, and as she's been doing that, I have been going out and looking into everything you've been doing. Rihanna, every day you've had me watch your kids has been because you go out to see another man, right? A man that is not your husband.
What? What are you talking about?
I have all the evidences I need, so there's no need to play dumb with me. Also, I made sure to tell your husband about this a couple of days ago.
Oh, what? My husband knows about this?
Yes.
But he's been acting so normal recently, even though he went to his office like he always does. I never thought anything between him and I changed.
He was making sure that to keep you from stealing the kids, he kept a calm face. All to make sure that you wouldn't know that he was preparing for a divorce.
A divorce?
Well, yeah, Rihanna. You were giving up your responsibility of taking care of your kids so that you could get your salad tossed by another man. Is there any reason for him to not divorce you now?
Wait, but our kids are still too young to have lived through a divorce. Especially when that could mean being taken away from their own mom. Don't you feel any remorse for them?
You never watched them and would leave them with me to go have an affair. Do you think your kids need you around them?
Well, if there was a divorce, the wife usually gets the kids in the end. I'm sure that my husband doesn't want to lose custody of them. So there's no way he'd divorce me due to this.
Well, I heard otherwise from him. He told me that when he'd have days off, or when it was the weekends, you'd leave the kids with him while you ran off by yourself. And then during the week, you'd leave them with me. Since when have you been acting like a mother, Rihanna? I'm sorry, but the court isn't going to favor you with handing the custody of them to you when you couldn't even care for them in the first place.
No way! I don't want to get divorced yet.
Why are you saying that to me? Maybe right now's the time to go talk to your husband about that.
Why the hell have you done this to me? I told you to never tell Patty or my husband. I'll never forgive you for this one, Zoe.
I don't give a crap if you do or don't. I'm sure that back in your day you always threatened kids into doing things for you like that. But fortunately, we are both adults now, or at least I am, and so I can actually stick up for myself. You are not going to be a bully to me, and we're not even in school anymore, so stop acting like you can get away with that childish behavior.
I'm going to make sure your life is ruined forever.
I'm sure the only one having their life ruined is going to be you, once your husband had had his way. And here's one thing. Stop trying to act as though their kids that was easily picked on in high school can still be picked on today. We are over 18 now, so the law does not apply to the both of us, and I can make sure you burn in hell for acting that way you have been.
I'm going to have you and my brother get a divorce as well then. My mom would be doing the same thing right now.
I'm sure what she'd be really doing is cutting ties with you forever.
Uh-huh?
You have nobody that's on your side right now. Before you start trying to get all on me for being a good wife or not, you should try making sure that you can be a good mother to your kids. But it's all because you're so selfish and don't care about your responsibilities that things have turned out this way. It's about time you start acting like an adult. Please.
What's going to happen to me? Is he really thinking of divorcing me?
He told me that's exactly what he wants. He already sees that his mom will be here for him when you're gone to help care for the kids. So don't worry about Jake and May, and just enjoy life on your own now.
Zoe, do something about this. I don't want this. I don't want to be separated from my husband and kids.
Well, if you didn't want any of that, then maybe you should have taken care of your kids and stayed away from other men.
Well, I can see that now. I just wanted to have a little fun and catch a fresh breath of air.
Well, maybe you should have chosen another way to help refresh yourself.
I don't want to be divorced. Zoe, I'll apologize for everything I've done. Please save me. Please come and help me.
Hell no. I don't care about you, Rihanna. I care about your kids, and I care about your husband's well-being, but not you. And at this point, even if I wanted to help you, I don't have the power to. Patty has already told me that she wants you nowhere near her son or grandkids. And I know your husband isn't forgiving you for this. I know that you tried so hard to make me feel as though I wasn't trying hard enough for the family, but if you didn't want us all throwing you away, maybe you should have tried a bit harder. Thereafter, Rihanna and her husband discussed the divorce, but things didn't fully become completed until half a year later. Rihanna was a housewife her whole life, and even before the marriage, never had a job of her own. But I did hear she was able to pay off the settlement she owed for cheating by using all of her savings. Also, the rights to the children were also given her ex, and now she has to continue to pay child support to them every month. We're all aware that she's never worked a day in her life, but if she's not able to find a job soon, she won't be able to afford child support or to take care for herself. So at this time, she has to tough it up and try her best with whatever job she's offered to keep on track so that there's no more punishments handed to her. And as for the men she had been sleeping with, they were all met on a dating app, and she had quite a few of them. Because of this, she ended up having multiple different STDs, hence her always having to go to the hospital for things. She has asked that we help her pay to go to the hospital for her treatments, but my husband and I never planned to hand her a penny for that stuff. That is what she asked for when destroying her loyalty to her family. And I don't think a single person agrees that what she did was okay. The only thing I'll be willing to give her now is my hopes that she'll one day learn from all of this and grow into an actual adult. On another note, after the divorce had been completed, Rihanna's kids were sent home with their ex's mom, where they now live with her. She will even bring them to work with her sometimes to help around flower shop, and they all look like they're having a blast being there. And of course, whenever there is moments that neither of them to take care of the kids, my husband offered to care for them for the day. Both Jake and May are such cute kids, and I want to make sure that they are raised into proper adults so that they understand the wrongs of their mother one day.